Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about titration curves and what's going on with our titration curves, different spots on it to look for. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a simple titration curve, and we're going to do a titration curve of a weak acid and a strong base. So this is going to be volume of your titrant added, of your titrant, which is your strong base. And this, of course, over here is your pH. Okay. So in general, what this curve is going to look like is you're going to get a little spiky section. It's going to flatten out. And then start curving up, go steep, kind of flatten out a little bit, and then peak right here. Okay. So what I want to talk about is different parts of it and what dominates your calculations. So first off, the steepest point on the graph right here, that is your equivalency point. Okay, so that's the equivalency point. We've already talked about that. And that is where we say the moles of your HA equal the moles of the base that's added, the OH minus added. Okay, so I want to talk about this part of the curve right here. From this point up to about here. Okay, so from that point on, right there. Okay, so this point right here, all of my HA is gone. There is no more HA. So the only thing left in this part right here is A minus. And really, this is kind of the more interesting part up to about here. Up about here is kind of the more interesting part. So A minus is what I mainly have right here. So on this part, and I'm going to label this A, that part of our titration curve, the concentration of your A minus is dominating your pH. So it determines your pH. Okay. Because it's going to be A minus plus H2O going over to HA plus OH minus. Now, as soon as you get past, it starts to level off again. So I'm going to color code this new color. Let's do this green. Let's go this green color from here on up. Okay. And erase that little red thing because I didn't like where I drew that. So this part, we're going to label B. From this part on, I have enough excess B of your base that your base dominates your pH. So for part B, so this was part A of our curve. So for part B of our curve, your OH minus that's in excess determines your pH. Okay. And that's why it's that levels off. It's just pretty much the amount of base you've added. So now we got two more sections. We got this part right here. This little steep part. This looks different. Okay. This little steep part, I have some OH minus that I've added. It is reacting with some of my HA. But where that's really steep right there, what actually is pretty much determining your pH is just your A minus concentration. And we're going to call that part C. Oops, let's undo that dot. Part C of our graph, what generally dominates your pH, or pretty much determines your pH, is the H A concentration. Okay? Because you really haven't added enough OH minus to really change the pH. It does go up pretty steep right there, but A minus or your HA is determining your pH, the amount of HA. Okay. Now we got our big section in the middle. So this section, it is really kind of flat, right? Till about right about here. This section, I'm going to label section D. That is your buffer. That is the section of your buffer. And part D of your graph, this is your buffer area. And it's the concentration of your A minus and concentration of your HA for pH. Okay? That's your buffer section of your titration curve. Now, I didn't label this part right here because I didn't really draw it too great. In general, yes, you can say that this part is also generally dominated by a little bit more your A minus, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay. One last data point on there is your 1/2 equivalency. Okay. 1/2 equivalency is where you find your Ka. Okay. And that is what you do with titration curves.